You say I should do it differently. I don't necessarily agree. Stand up, sit down, be nice. Did you hear me?
Hey everybody, what's up? Tonight I want to talk about one of my pet peeves, something that just really ticks me off. As you guys know, I see a lot of movies. I see a lot of movies in the theater. This summer alone, I've seen Transformers, Ratatouille, Fantastic Four, Spider-Man 3. I plan on seeing Evan Almighty, Harry Potter, the Simpsons movie. I think that's it for the blockbusters of the summer. I love seeing movies. I love seeing them in the theater, getting the whole theater experience, and spending money on overpriced soda and overpriced stale popcorn. I love it. There's something about it I love. But I don't know what the deal is with movie theater audiences in the past 3 or 4 years. When have we gotten so stupid and so nonsensical about everything? First of all, who are these parents? And I'm a single guy here, so maybe any of the parents here can chime in. But who are the parents who bring a 2-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 6-year-old to a movie like Fantastic Four after 6 o'clock at night? When I saw The Hulk a few summers ago, horrible movie to begin with, I saw an 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock show on a Sunday night, and somebody brought their 2-year-old and their infant. Who are these parents that need to see a movie so badly that they bring the kid along to something that's PG or PG-13? It's one thing to bring kids to a matinee. I can expect that. You bring kids to a Disney movie, I can expect kids screaming and cheering. When I saw Finding Nemo, it was awesome, the crowd participation from the little kids. But something like Transformers the other night, which is a very violent, loud movie, I was amazed. The people behind me, they sat down and they started yelling at their kids, saying, "You gotta shut up, you gotta be quiet in this movie, blah, 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 blah." And then the kid, of course, didn't. The kid was like 8. The kid didn't. So they spent the whole movie yelling at this kid in their seat. Do they not think about anybody else around them? Nobody. The Fantastic Four movie, they brought a 2-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 6-year-old in the movie. And the two parents sat there and watched the movie the whole time while the kids ran back and forth in the aisles and were hitting the seats. Eventually, I did a shh, and they looked at me and I gave them a look. Come on, people. If you want to see the movie that bad, get a babysitter or be a parent. You know, I took my nephews to see Spider-Man. I took them at a matinee. And if they had to go to the bathroom, I was an adult. I took them to the bathroom, even though they wanted to go right at the end of the movie, before the finale. If they have to go to the bathroom, if they have to talk, they're little kids. You treat them that way. You don't try to yell at them to be quiet in the movie. And while I'm on the subject of these parents who piss me off, I took my nephews to Spider-Man 3. We got there 20 minutes early. They've been looking forward to this forever. We got there 20 minutes early, and I sat in between the two of them so I could take care of them both. And we moved over one seat from the aisle. So there was a blank seat, Derek, me, and then my nephew Brett. The movie starts, or the trailers start. Commercials, trailer, the movie starts. Now we are 15 or 20 minutes into the showtime. It was a noon show. By now it's 20 after 12. And somebody comes in my row and says, "Can you move over one?" And I looked at him and I said, "No." He's like, "Well, I need a seat." I said, "Well, then they're not going to be able to see." And he gave me a dirty look, but because the movie started and he was standing in my row, he kind of got flustered and he sat up in the front where there were many seats. Now, I don't want to be a jerk. I mean, I'm a nice guy to people. But why should I have spent the entire movie with these seats that I got there 20 minutes ahead of time to get? If we would have moved over one, Brett wouldn't have been able to see. Now, should I give up the good seat for the person who shows up at the very last minute? It's one thing to show up during the trailers even, or, right before the movie starts. But these people are showing up during the movie. What part of a 12 o'clock show don't people understand when it's 20 after or quarter after? And then, these are the same people. The second their credits roll, this very second the credits roll, they're all up and they gotta leave. Half the time movies now show bloopers or added scenes. The Transformers had a scene at the end, Silver Surfer did, I think Ratatouille did, and people miss it. And I think, you're paying, if you're a couple, $15 to see a movie. And then you're off to, it's like people can't be in their seats that long. And I guess I'm curious. I'd love to hear from the parents out there what you think or if you think it's appropriate to bring a kid to a movie, at what time is appropriate for a movie. I paid my, $15 for food plus $10 for the ticket. And I don't appreciate. It's one thing to hear a kid making a little noise, but the parents behind me that are yelling at the kid as if the parents can't be bothered. And I've noticed this more and more. It's one thing when the movie starts, there are now 3 warnings to turn off your cell phones. Come on, people. What kind of etiquette is this? And then the stupid people who sit behind you and they talk the whole time. They don't get it. It's like people want to just socialize and they want to be at the movies, but not really. And use a little common sense. I mean, I saw Spider-Man 3 by myself before I took my nephews, just in case there were parts that weren't age appropriate. Now, Transformers, I think I'm going to wait. I'll probably show them the DVD, but I don't think it's an age appropriate movie, and it's a 2.5-hour movie. And for little kids, that's way too long for them to sit through. And you could see that in the Transformers. Now, if your kid is well behaved and can sit, that's fine. I'm not saying kids don't belong at the movie theater, but I just say adults and parents need to start being parents when it comes time to watching a movie, because there are other people there who don't want to hear your little precious screaming at their top of their lungs. Then take the kid outside and deal with the problem. Or maybe they're not age appropriate to go to that movie. If they have to be talking and screaming the whole time, maybe you shouldn't be focusing on the screen. I don't know why. I've seen more and more of that. And like I said, it's okay at a matinee. That's family time. But when I'm talking about an 8 o'clock or a 9 o'clock movie, should I, as a single person, have to deal with that in a rated PG movie? When I saw Borat on a Sunday afternoon, there was somebody who brought a 10 and a 12-year-old. Now, there's full frontal nudity in there. There's, if you've seen it, there's people doing the 69 position. It's a raunchy, funny as hell movie, but a very raunchy movie. And people brought their kid. Did you not read the review? Do you not know who the character is? There's reviews you can look for parents, and it tells you if there's profanity, nudity, sexual situations, etc. And part of me, a very cynical part of me, was happy that that parent probably had to explain to their kids why those 2 people were in that position, or why they were naked, or what these terms meant if the kid was at that questionable age. And I don't mean to be a jerk here, but just do a little research as a parent, for Pete's sake. And just because they're marketing these movies towards the kids, just because it's Transformers on every cereal box right now, please be a parent and do a little research and then figure out if it's age appropriate for your kid. Now, I know not everybody can go to a movie twice like I can. I know people don't have the time to do that. But ask around, read reviews, see if it's age appropriate. In a review will say if there's profanity, language, etc. And then if you want to take your kid, just please, all I ask is keep them quiet. As for you adults, I saw A Beautiful Mind, and the people behind me had to explain to each other each dramatic part, what was going on. I didn't need, if I couldn't, if I was blind, I wouldn't have needed somebody to explain the movie to me. You don't need, what am I saying here? You don't need somebody to explain it to you as a commentary. That's what it is. It's a director's commentary by these stupid people. And I don't get it. When has our society gotten so dumb and stupid and bad at parenting, etc.? I'm sorry, I had a bad day. And I was talking to somebody about movies, and it's been something I've been meaning to talk about for a while. My next thing I want to talk about is concert etiquette someday, because that's another one. Anyway, I've rambled on long enough. Sorry about the rant. That's all for now. I'll talk to you later. Bye.